Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I was listening to a preacher yesterday. I don't know if this preacher was black or whether this preacher was white, but I listened to this person, and I was reminded that this preacher had no moral authority whatsoever to be an advocate for God, especially using a book that they have represented as the Word of God. What made me think that? Because of the situation that we find ourselves in, living in this world, living here in America. Are they not reminded that in the USA, the plans are discussed to rewrite history, deleting the truth of slavery in America at the hands of white supremacy? Such is the book that they call God's words. Words that doesn't prevent its messengers from the practice of lying, from the practice of deceiving and cheating and stealing. Doesn't prevent them from engaging in bigotry and hatred and racism, causing pain and suffering for so many more of the citizens. Nah, the truth spreads beyond whites. It spreads beyond blacks. In other words, it includes anyone with a book without the life. So when one comes to you talking about God, your question is, where's the evidence? Where's that relationship with God? I took this, ladies and gentlemen, because I was being overwhelmed, and I decided to write a note so I don't spend so much time, and I wanted to get specific. Now, among the many reasons that I speak of God is because God is the answer. At least that's the way I see it. I see God as being the answer. People won't accept it. They won't accept it due to the invisibility of God and their lack of understanding of God. God is not a man. God is not a woman. God isn't black or white. God is spirit. The pure in heart is the proper connection, wherein truth is the tool of the communication. Every individual is required to learn this truth as necessary in establishing thy will done on earth as can be imagined in heaven. It is a lack of this knowledge and of this information that permits unemployment, permits poverty, permits crime and violence, terror and war. This inferior way of advocacy for race wars and civil wars. If anyone has a connection with God, their number one concern is that God's way of life is as obvious as is a tree. Its obviousness rests by way of peace, prosperity and freedom, joy and happiness, and living the dream. Anyone connected to God understands the power of love, thereby engaging each individual to a career of choice that qualifies each one to participate in the creation, in the manifestation of all the goods and services in such an abundance there is no space to contain them, thus assuring that these citizens would have access, but not limited to, housing, food, education, health care, transportation, access to the world, and that at its leisure. If you had a connection with God, you can see how that could be achieved. Is there a spokesman amongst the nations today? Is there a spokesman amongst the people? So what good is the book, the scriptures, the preachers? Is there a politician anywhere speaking of God as love for the people today? If not, why not? Why do the people reject the answers to their prayers and follow instead their destroyer, the maker of their pain and suffering? The politicians aren't good enough. The system isn't good enough. The Constitution isn't good enough. Change is required. But who can marshal in change when all are blind? The media can't see it. The public thinks it's a dream. How can we escape this darkness and embrace the light? Whoever can, please step forward. Thank you.